What is your name and where are you from?
Michael Schneider from Laconia, Minnesota.
Wonderful. How did you originally hear about my lessons?
Found someone had sent a video of a Springsteen song, and I wanted to learn to try and play some of it, and found your website and your easy piano lessons. So
All right.
as
So
well as
probably
your
YouTube, I would.
as well as your music library is just phenomenal.
Thank you. Yeah. 18 years of doing this and hard requests. Pretty big library. What is, what is your favorite part about learning from my method?
I think you simplify it so well. You take for someone like me from ground zero with no musical ability whatsoever, that you break it down and you simplify it very easily for us. It's just the piano lessons are just fantastic. So yeah,
Thank you. Well, I've got a lot of practice. All my 50 students a week for 20 years, they taught me how to teach.
and
So
your
you guys have been,
and your process. The process is it just works for me. It clicks, you know.
thank you. Michael, do you notice or care that I always try to be exactly as I can, as close to the original as possible? I don't do a version or this is sort of what the chord is. I try to give you exactly what they're playing. Does that matter to you at all?
I don't think so. Well, I think maybe for the songs that I do care about, that's nice to get. But some of the songs that I don't, just for the gaining the skill and the ability on the piano, I don't think that's a big deal for me. But for the songs that I do care about, yes, I think that is.
Well, that's what I'm
That is
interested
fun.
in, the ones you care about.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, we want to play just like Elton or just like if you've never, it sounds like you've never went to that many other lessons. If you go start looking at them, they're a lot different. You'll have 50 different versions of the same song of people giving their version of it. So that's why I put all the. So you might notice that if you started going to other places. What do you like? See, what makes my method different from other lessons? So you said you looked around at others. How do you compare?
Right. Well, I think the biggest factor was that you have the transcription so easily. It's not sheet music. It's not just watch me do this and do this. You actually have the transcription of the song that you're doing. That's easy to see what you're doing and why you're doing. So I think that transcription part was the largest difference between you and other sites. I haven't seen any other sites that have that.
So you like the tablature, you like the sheets.
Yes.
Good. Yeah, so it's a different way to do it. Some people it works for them immediately. Some people that are music readers have a little, they balk at it for a second till they figure out that it's pretty much just like sheet music. I just don't have the staff there. On a scale of 1 to 10, how satisfied are you with my lessons?
Oh, 10 for sure. 10.
Well,
Absolutely.
thank you for that.
Absolutely. Yes.
Would you recommend a family member or friend to my lessons? And if so, why?
Yes. I've been trying to get them to do it. And again, back to that simplification, it's just, you just make it so easy. You've got a nice, easy process. And again, you don't have that sheet music barrier in front of you as well. So it's easy to start playing your
Wonderful.
favorite songs.
So speaking of that, Michael, what is your song that you've learned, even if it's just part of it, that you're most proud of? And then what's that song that you would love to learn one day that maybe you haven't, but you say, one day I want to play that one?
Dreams by Bruce Springsteen.
Okay.
That piano part is amazing.
Well, it is. It's all amazing. Yeah, Roy Bittan. And I have to tell you, everybody just looks at him as this piano god, but he makes mistakes all the time. And when I'm transcribing, I'm fixing some of the stuff he messed up.
Really?
For him. And I don't say that I'm not trying to raise myself up to his level. I'm just saying everybody messes up. Everybody has a struggle. Everybody's in a journey. His performance is never perfect. And so why should ours be?
Right.
We're all in a journey. So that helps people sometimes when they see, these big artists, when I show them, he missed this chord here. He dropped, there was a part where Roy kind of dropped an eighth note and you didn't really realize it. He kept going. He just recovered so flawlessly, though he's so good at recovering.
Right.
Which that's what the pros do. They do mess up. So
That's good to hear. That's good to hear.
yeah. And as would me, if you recorded my performance, I could pick myself apart, or anyone else could. Yeah. Thank you, Michael, for doing this. I'm going to send you a Google link after this in an email. If you wouldn't mind, this will help me just as much, maybe more than the testimonial here. Google reviews are huge. Helps your SEO go up on for my website, so I can be found. So if you wouldn't mind just writing, just take a minute or two. It's really quick, just to write a quick review for me. I'd appreciate that.
Absolutely.
And is there anything I can do for you today? Any questions you have, or I'll send you a sheet if you want.
No, you've done enough already. That I can't thank you enough for what you do and how you do it.
Thank you, Michael. It's great talking to you.
You too, Shawn. Take
Feel
care.
free to contact me if you ever need anything.
Will do. Thank you, Shawn.
All right. Talk to you later, brother.
Bye-bye.
Okay. Well, Michael, thank you for joining me today.
Yes.
Yeah. So I'm using, I normally use Zoom, but this is Riverside. It's kind of a podcast app thing. And it records really well. So I'm trying it out. Let me know how it goes for you.
Okay.
Well, yeah, thanks so much for doing this. I'm doing testimonials for the testimonial page of my website, and just kind of working on the business type of thing. I haven't done that in 18 years, so got some business coaches now, and I've been having a blast talking to you guys, so it's been a lot of fun.
Oh.
So I remember you like a recent Lifetime member. Is that correct?
Correct. Yes.
Okay. So how long have you been with me in total? Is this
Almost
recent or what?
Almost 2 years.
2 years. Okay. All right. So you're a newbie. As far as that goes. Yeah, I have some guys that go back 10, 15 years,
Wow.
and then 3, but 2 years. Okay, great. It's great for me to know it's still working.
Yes, indeed.
So what was your, like, growing up, music lessons? Did your parents give you private music lessons? Did you have the typical piano lesson, note reading thing, or
No, I started about 3 years ago from ground zero.
Okay, ground zero. So with my site, you started ground zero.
Correct. Well,
this is great.
I did play around with a couple other online learning resources.
That's good too. Yeah, awesome. So, but pretty much, from the beginning, you were using my stuff, and that's a great, testimony for me for my stuff. When you first, did you have any musical background at all? Did you know what the notes were on the piano, or was it just completely
ground zero?
Okay.
Yep.
All right. So where did you start? Because other people are going to be watching this going, can I be a beginner and do this, or do I have to? So how did you do it?
I've always had a desire to learn the piano. Always loved music, but 3 years ago, my wife found the antique grand piano that was for sale. So she bought it, and it showed up at her house, and started to play, and tried to find some lessons online, and played around with some online courses, but found yours, and just loved what you did and stayed with it. Loved what you have and stayed with it. So yeah, about 2 years now, been trying to learn the piano.
So when you start with my lessons and you see this weird whiteboard thing with the letters on it, most people look at that and go, "What in the world is that?" And some people, it just immediately clicks for them, and some people have to look at it for a while and then, "Oh, okay, this is how you do it." How was that for you?
Yeah, that was great, because
it was immediately clicked for you.
Right, because sheet music
Good.
was. There was no way that was going to work for me right off the bat.
Yeah, the problem with sheet music is music reading is a great skill. People always think I'm trying to keep people from reading music. I'm not. I'm a music reader. I just taught for 20 years, 50 students a week, and I know that it's a roadblock for a lot of people. It's really difficult to learn to read music well. It really is. It's a skill that really doesn't take any musical talent to do, but it does take a lot of time and practice to get used to, to reading traditional sheet music. And it's just gets in the way for some people. And I figured if you guys just want to play your favorite songs, want to jump in, you don't care how you get there, you just want to play, then that's what this is for. And so what was the first song you did? I'm curious about that, or a couple of songs. Do you remember?
Well, I remember someone had sent me a link or a video of a guy playing Springsteen's Born to Run on the piano. and somehow that's how I found your website. I found your video
Okay.
with that Born to Run as well. And
Oh, all right.
obviously there was no way I could even attempt a
I
part
was
of
gonna
that.
say, hey, did you start with that one?
No, so
Wow.
then I found your easy piano lessons, and that's so I started right from the easy piano lesson series.
Michael, if I could get everyone to do that, because you can say it and say it and say it, but if they don't actually do it, they don't see that it would work. So you did the easy piano lesson series, and that's kind of my right now I redid it actually. So it's a set of 50 lessons for beginners or someone that's new to my method. And it kind of shows you an introduction to music if you're new to music. It is introduction to piano if you're new to piano, but it's also an introduction to my method. So you kind of learn all those things at once. Some people go through all 50, some people go through 25 and they go, okay, I'm good, I get it. But it's just kind of a good place to start. And I'm glad you did that. And had you not done that, it might have not worked for you.
Yeah.
So that's my opinion there. So yeah, anybody that's a beginner, I always tell them to go to the Easy Piano Lesson series. And I can tell them that, but they don't really believe me unless they see other people have done it. And here's a guy who's done that and it worked for you. So that's great. Did you go through all 50 or
All
did you
50.
kind of, you did? Oh, great. Good.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Yeah, you're a star pupil.
No,
Yeah.
no, I'm still still wish I had more time to devote for it, but
It's a journey, brother.
yeah, yeah. So
It's a journey. So, wow. So you just brought home that piano and kind of a fluke thing, and now you're playing. What is your favorite music to play? If you pick, a genre, a decade, or an artist, what do you like to play?
yeah, I would say the rock and roll, this Bruce Springsteen's, the Billy Joel's. So a lot of the heavy piano, parts of Springsteen, Billy Joel, Elton John, that sort of
Sure.
thing. So maybe classical rock and roll.
You're
Journey,
speaking my language.
I love your Journey stuff on the easy piano lessons and Beatles.
Yeah.
Yes,
Oh,
I
yeah.
love
Speaking
that
my
stuff.
language.
Yes.
Tell you a story on the Bruce Springsteen stuff. Bruce is great, but his piano player is Roy Bittan, and so anything piano, that's Roy doing that, and he's fantastic. And there's a song called Jungle Land that I did that everyone wants to, people that's my Mount Everest. They want to do that one. And then I recently did one for a guy who lives in London, and his mom was going through some cancer stuff when he was young, and she died when he was a kid. And it's just awful experience. But he has a positive memory of her taking him to see Bruce Springsteen live in London, and Roy played a 10-minute thing on Racing in the Streets, and that's what he wanted to learn because that reminded him of the good times. And so I did that one recently. So that's another Mount Everest that you guys can tackle. But Roy is incredible, so I'm glad you're into him because if you can play Roy stuff, you can play anything. Yeah, and all right. So on your practicing, so what works for you I know we all, have jobs and families and it's hard to, but when it's working for you, how do you do it to learn a song? When do you play? How do you play? What's your practice routine that works for you?
I try to stick exactly what you teach is right hand, left hand, then together, and kind of measure by measure. And yeah, I pretty much try to do the learn, play, share stuff that you teach.
Oh, wow!
Not so
So
much
people
on
are listening to me.
not so much on the share part. I'm not
Yeah,
very comfortable with sharing it just yet, but I
that's all
do
of us.
spend some time, learning the language as well as some of the technique with the scales and the chord progression. The root position, the second and the third. So, and then I start to play. So I have cheated a little bit because I like Springsteen's Backstreet, so I've tried to tackle some of those measures. But most of the time, it's most of those songs on your easy piano lessons, whether it's the Beatles, you've got some Elton John on there, Journey,
Sure.
Styx on there. So
Yeah.
I'm trying to master some of those songs.
Wow, Michael, this is great because I would have thought I handed you a sheet and you need to talk about these things for me. You're hitting everything. You're hitting the learn, play, share, which is Yeah, that's it. I mean, I found a lot of people quit not because they're stupid or they don't have any talent, is they don't know how to practice. They have no idea. So they go into a song and they think they're supposed to just go through the whole thing. And that's why I say that over and over again. Take one measure, get that measure, go to the next measure. Then you may have only two measures you've learned that day, but it's a success. It's a check mark. You did it.
Yes.
I did it, and then you can repeat that success every day. And guess what? You'll learn the whole song eventually. So I'm glad you're listening to that. And the share part's hard for me too. I'm starting to get out there. My son is an excellent guitar player. He's incredible. Can play anything. He's only 19. He's only been playing for 2 years. And he wasn't playing anything. I was like, I'm going to put this guitar in your room in the amp. He's like, I don't want it, Dad. And I said, well, it's going to be in here. This is where I'm going to put it. And you watch me. Watch me how to turn it on. Watch me turn it on. So I made him watch and showed him, where the knobs were. And he's like, fine. And then, all of a sudden I hear it come on and he's messing around. He starts playing some Nirvana licks. And then now he's playing Stevie Ray Vaughan. Any solo I give him, I said, try to learn that. And he'll Cliffs of Dover. Done. 2 days. He's got it. So it's just incredible what he's doing. But we're going out and playing in Waco around surrounding areas because he wants to do that for a living. He wants to go out and play. I said, son, that's a hard living, but if you love it, I'm going to help you try. So we're doing it we're trying to share it. But yeah, you're right. That's the most difficult step. Yeah. Well, I'm going to ask you some questions here, Michael, that are for the videographers because they're going to put this part in a certain place for me. But I always like to get to meet you guys a little bit. It's always fun to do that. Do you have any kids that are coming up in music or?
Three kids, and now they're not as interested just yet.
Not yet.
Not yet. Yeah.
Yeah, it takes a while sometimes, but don't give up on them. Well, yeah, it's been good to get to know you here, Michael, and I'm going to ask you some questions that might seem like you're repeating yourself a little bit, but if you wouldn't mind just doing it for the videographers, what they're going to put together.